Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round 11 in League of Europe Season X. Today we are around Zandvoort in the Netherlands, beautiful track, and I'm joined by not Mark, by Miss Jess. Good evening.
Hello, good to be here. I don't think I've commentated on Division 2 before, so happy to be experiencing Zandvoort, which was first opened in 1948, but I think we should be in for a really interesting race. Obviously, it was last day's Formula 1 race a couple of months ago, and it was pretty good then, so hopefully it should be a good one on this game.
Oh, trust me, Division 2 always delivers. In many ways, which you'll see. Hopefully we get a dry race. It's quite often you get some rain here, especially during the race. So that would be quite a shame because it makes overtaking really difficult. And I've absolutely jinxed it, haven't I? Let's have a look. Dry for quali.
Well, I don't have access to the chat, so I usually get an idea from the chats whether they're like, oh god, it's raining, or oh no. But if we don't get any old gods or whatever, I think we should be fine.
Yeah, let's see. I think Killer might inform us quite soon about the weather as well. He usually does that. So let's have a look. We see at least people taking their time, so it's not out of the question they might have a little look at the setups.
We have a
Keep an eye
few
on the
cars
stream
going out on
chat.
track, though. I think I'm just trying to find out the first driver. I believe it's Killer that's the first out on the track.
Let's have a look. J. Cole, yes, teammate right behind, so Killer is the first one on track. I hope this time we only see softs in qualifying. Sometimes people tend to go for some medium long runs. Obviously, just a quick look at the championship before we go into this. Joom leading the championship at the moment by quite a margin. He's 21 points ahead of Patrick Kenworthy. And it's Kenworthy, but he's not driving today. He's having PSN issues or PlayStation issues in general. So Luke in P3 on 98 points. He's 29 points behind in the standings. It's the closest one on track. He's probably going to jump up to second in the leaderboards. Liam in fourth is already quite a bit behind. He's on 80 points, and we have Rick on 70, Killer in 66, Taupe on 52, and Chris on 50. And you can take the lap with Killer.
Yes, we can. So here's a lap around the Dutch Grand Prix. As you approach the start-finish line, you're going to be approaching the first braking zone of the lap, Tarzan. Long banked right-hander coming up. Smooth exit as you head towards turn 2. Make sure you get on the throttle as early as possible through there. Past turn 3 of Holland Hotspot in towards turn 4 as well, a little left kink. And then you pass the banking and you're going to be heading up the hill. I can't remember what corner it is, but you need to carry a lot of speed through there, which could possibly cause a bit of understeer if you're not careful. A bit of a lift through turn 7, heading towards now turns 8 and 9. You can use some of the curbs through here. It's not as deadly on this game than last games, luckily. As you exit turn 9, you accelerate through turn 10. Another kink coming up, not much braking needed as you head towards the DRS zone. 4 on the power. He's in 7th gear on entry. Now he's going to be going on to 2nd on the exit of the corner. Now he short shifts into 4th gear, now 5th, 6th as he heads towards the final bank and the final few corners in the race. Don't use your ERS there, you will die. Heads towards the start finish straight he goes, and Killer up to the line for the first time lap of the session, a 108.849.
And one thing I'm already noticing is that he derated going across the line, so he was below 10%. So if you activate the ERS too early starting your lap, you will derate. As Ian is on 9.5, he's usually running low wing, so let's see if he's doing that today as well. J. Cole slots in behind Killer in P2 just about. As the lap times come tumbling in, let's have a look at our championship leader, who's still in the pit lane. You take over for a second. I'm gonna have a look at the stewards reports from last week.
Yes, we've got, I believe, Dan, who's up to finish his lap time right now in the Mercedes, of course. So quite a few reserves racing tonight as well, only 18 drivers. He slots us up into P2 behind, in front of Jaco. And then we got Ariel Tope that's gone fast, 108.7. All of them in the 108 near the front of the field. I believe someone else just came across the line. I think it was Larkin who came across the line in P5. Pitaka in P6. I need to get my track map up. That's why I'm probably struggling to find out who's on a lap and who's not. Ben's definitely on a lap now. He's in 12th. Can he go any higher than that? He is 6th with a 109.1. I'm just trying to see. I think we've got one McLaren and one Haas. Yeah, we've got Luke up to the line then. Let's see what he can do. He slots third fastest. Quite close times. Apparently, he was purple in the final sector.
Yeah, he had a shocker of a first sector, so quite a good job to recover that. Putting a bit of pressure on Joom, who's now exited the pit. There's no quali bans. Last week we had just had Kylian Chill getting a license points for no footage and was reported for careless driving. Which he's been, yeah, and he's usually doing that by just exiting the pit lane every single race. Let's have a look if anyone is on a fast lap. I think it's all come down a bit.
McLaren heading towards the final corner.
He's also going to derail down the straight a little bit. That just costs you that half a tenth you might need at the end of the session. 8.9. Look how close it is already at the top. You always see around this track. And Droom is starting his lap. Max Verstappen helmet in a Ferrari. That's one cursed combination. Let's see into turn 1. Oh, there's an apex somewhere. Droom doesn't want to take it. A little wiggle on the exit. He just needs to set an easy banking lap and then he can build on that. So that's already one area and one corner you can find time in. Quite nicely through the banking of turn 3. And now flat out up the hill. Then just a little lift and downshift. He taps the brake as well actually, so he's taking it really safe on the first run. And you can't blame him, he's got a good championship lead, he doesn't need to take any risks. Take some grass with him though. Ooh, good save, that was almost into the wall. He's cooked his rear tyres. It's gone quite downhill this lap. Let's see the sector split, 48-2. Oh, look at that, he's struggling.
He is. I wonder if he's got like an oversteery setup, it looks like, on his car. Maybe he's struggling on traction, but heading towards now turn 13 through the banking and then heading towards the final corner of turn 14, but I don't really call it a corner to be honest. And I think it's going to be nowhere near fastest. No, 109.2. He would have been the 108s there, but I think he was just... I think once you struggle with one part of the lap, your tyres get overheated so quickly, so that's probably why he was struggling for the whole of that lap. But he's still got a couple more laps to go, so it is not over.
Yeah, you got to time in, which is the most important bit. You might think about the brake bias and move those a bit forward as well to help him with the stability. We saw Dari try to attempt the second lap on the same tyres, but couldn't quite do it. Then we got Killer on a lap now on the second one. So he's rushing through the session. You could do 4 runs if you have 4 softs and don't want to save any tyres for the race. Let's see if he's doing that. Already improving the first sector by over half a tenth.
Purple sector 1.
Just a couple of hundreds needed in the middle sector to put him right into P1 again. Beautiful lines, I've got to say. Killer is driving very well at the moment. Missing no apexes. No apexes missed in that middle sector. Let's see, that should be a purple one as well.
Yes, it is.
Oh, almost 2/10. Can he keep it together in the final couple of corners? A bit shaky there. Bit of grass on the tyres. Should be fine. Takes that inside curve. He's going to derail to the line as well. That should be quite a big improvement. That should be provisional P1.
Yeah, I think so as well. Ooh.
Just about.
I didn't see if he was fast in the final sector, but I think he lost quite a bit of time there because you do get marbles on your tyres if you go on the grass. So I think that's where he lost a bit of time. What about his teammate Jaco as he finishes the lap? Can he go any faster than 108.9?
Yes,
wow. And he beats his teammate by 2 tenths. I didn't see the whole of his lap actually, but I saw his final sector and it looked a little bit more hooked than his teammate, so I was not that surprising, to be honest. D Morts is on a lap, his first lap actually. I did see someone just invalidate, that was Brent who just gone into the pits, that's probably why. McLaren's up to the line, or about to start his run, I think that's Luke. No, it's not Luke, he's in the middle of his lap, scrap that.
Yeah, Luke is absolutely flying. We also saw Dan being stranded like a whale in the banking in the last corner. Quite a twitchy out there, but Luke is flying. Into the middle second split, half a second almost up. J. Cole, he's coming for you. Just a little bit cautious, a bit offline in the final sector again. And we saw a killer, that's so easy to lose that 1 or 2/10. Is he gonna get a slipstream though? Slightly. Not quite, a bit too far away. It's gonna be close at the top, should be P1, it is. By 10th almost as well.
I think there was one season where Luke and J. Cole were in the same tier and they were battling for quite a lot up until when J. Cole got promoted to Division 2, which I think it was not last season but the season before, so season 8. So I'm not surprised to see them two quite close together. We'll see what his teammate can do of Scream, as I didn't like he was pushing too much there, but I think he can improve on his time. It would help if I get the lap data up as well. No, he didn't. He's not improving at all. So I think he just had a banker lap, and I think he's gonna go on the push lap now. Let me look at his telemetry. Nope, he's not. I think he's gonna go straight to the pit. So yeah, we fortunately missed out on that one. Jim, however, Montano is on another run. Let's see if he takes turn 2 easier this time. Much better turn 2 and 3 compared to last time, but a bit squirmy on the exit of 3 though.
Yeah, that inside curb is it's not usually something you like to touch. He found the apex in turn 1 as well, so it should be quite a massive improvement. At 10th, yeah, we saw his big mistakes at the end of the sector 2 as well. But he's under pressure, especially with Luke leading, his biggest championship threat at the moment. He needs to put this together, but it's looking a lot better already. Although I have to say, he's quite low on ERS. He's going to derate quite early on the straight. Let's see, middle sector, also over half a second up. He found the time, and there's some more time in here, so that should be close onto the line.
Our championship leader, 127 points at the moment, and with his main championship rival not here tonight, if he does well tonight, chance for him to extend his lead even more up to the line. That's more like it from June into the 108s, but not quite pole position. So Luke's still setting the early pace there. And I think that is the last of the lap so far, unless anyone's going to go for another push lap. No, it doesn't look like it. So Luke is on pole at the moment with J. Cole second, June third, and McCurrick in P4, unless he decides to go again. No, if he does not, he goes into the pits.
Yeah, this is exactly what June needed. Just a banker lap, a really good one to put him up there. And then he can work from there and minimize any points loss. As Dari is facing the wrong way out of the last corner as well. Does he beach himself? No, not quite. Such a tricky corner, that last one. You never know what you get with understeer or oversteer. As Larkin is that flying by there as well. Brent on the lap, only in P17. He has the potential to put it quite far up there as well. Through these corners very nicely, actually. Let's see if he can keep it together in that famous or infamous last corner. Oh, invalid as well. That was looking quite quick, that lap, but that's gone out the window. Let's see what he would have done. Yeah, he lost some time there as well, so still stuck down there. P17. Liam, his teammate, also coming into the pits. The guy with the best race pace usually, cross Liam. So it'll be interesting to see if he makes any progress in the race. Dan is now out of the last corner. He didn't spin it this time. And he's got some ERS, so he's seen what's happening here, and he puts it P9 still, not improving. And Larkin out of the lap as well.
Yeah, Larkin's backed off, so he must have lost it. I think we set to 1, or maybe even the exit of set turn 7, where we've seen a couple of people lose it today. So I think for Larkin, that is his lap done. Brent obviously going to the pits. Let's watch Killer then again. He's on another run quickly. I'm guessing he's gone for the softer tyre allocation, I think, because otherwise there would have been no way you would have had enough time to do 4 runs in. But this track allows it through turn 7 and 8. Hits that apex very nicely. He's purple set to 1 currently. Didn't see what his set to 1 time was, but he's saying to, I think, his rivals, you're not getting that pole, I am. Past turn 10, through the DRS straight. He's got plenty of batteries so far, purple set to 2 according to the game. Sometimes the game likes to lie and sometimes tells me that they are purple set to 2 but they're not. But I think I can believe that Killer might be purple. I think it's a lot better lap this time from him than his previous one. He's going to get a bit of slipstream from the Mercedes, but the Mercedes goes into the pit lane. Is Killer going to be pole? Oh, by 5,000 of a second, Killer just pits Luke.
Jekyll also in the last sector, just a little bit down on his time. It makes you wonder if they... Oh, as Jekyll bins it out of the last corner. And now he's just stranded a while. Can he get it spun around in time? There's a car flying by as well. On an outlap, luckily. But yeah, I think he was just trying a bit too hard to get the time back he lost in the first 2 sectors. All that up from Killer, and he's pushing. He wants that 4th lap, I think. And it's gonna be close on time, but it's quite a short pit lane. Should be possible for him. Anyone on a lap? Is it just Dari? No, Dari is not on a lap. He's not using any ERS. So yeah, no one on a lap right now.
Oh no, he's not. It doesn't look like he's on a lap. No, I think he's going to be on the push run, or is he going to go into the pits as well? Nope, he's going to go on the push run. I don't think he has enough ERS to do so. So that's questionable.
Am I tripping or is it raining?
Wait.
I saw some drop.
Jayco has retired in the pit lane.
Can't quite see it, but it looked like it. Well, I'll see how that develops. Droom is now starting his final lap. He needs to put one together quite soon. Should be about fine right now. Very overcast at least. Let's see, Droom sending it in the first sector. I think he's still got some time to find there. Doesn't harass the inside curve too much this time. Gets quite good traction as well. He probably needs half a tenth at least in the first sector if he wants to challenge for pole position. 300s. A bit down on Killer. Half a tenth, I think. Ooh,
not
just
much
about,
though.
Yeah, it almost touches the grass on entry. Oh,
nah.
And then touches the curb. Oh, and it's gone. Oh.
He was doing very nicely indeed, and then just one small mistake just ruined your lap up.
Yeah, and in the spin out, I got challenged. Scream also finished a lap, or at least doesn't have any ERS. Let's see, Luke is starting his final attempt, and Killer just about made it out of the pit lane, so should have enough time, but he needs to hurry up on his outlap. Coxie puts it up to P6!
Wow!
Oh, that's something I didn't expect out of nowhere. Anyone else on a fast lap, you see?
We got a few people heading towards the final corner. I wonder if Recurric's going to finish his lap. No, he's on an outlap. So most people on their final runs now, I think there'll be a few people out of sync out of everybody else that go dive into the pit lane. It says Doom is on 0 laps of tyres, but he's not. He's just spinned it. So I think I won't be surprised if he goes again, but he's going to hardly have enough ERS left. No, not many big improvements from some drivers, and Luke spinned it, so he's not going to improve. I don't think Kidder will need to go out again unless the likes of Recurric or Ben can improve as well. Scream is not going to improve, he's retired. Type heading towards the middle sector, he's about a few 100ths quicker than his previous best, but I don't think enough to get pole at the moment.
June tries for a second lap as well, but he hasn't recovered enough energy as well. And made a mistake, so Droom is out of it. Luke tried to, Luke has managed to save enough energy to go and again, which he can do. Tires are not too bad. Just about makes it across the line, so it's Killer against Luke. Pretty much on track right now.
Yep, so let's see what Killer could do. They're pretty much close together as well, so Killer's got to keep an eye on Luke to make sure he doesn't give too much slipstream. Checker Flag has dropped. Coxie slots himself into 6th. Patuka in 11th. Cross Liam in 16th.
Wow.
Killer is almost a tenth up in that first sector. He does mean business here today. What about Luke? I didn't see Luke's sector one time.
Luke is out of it. He's 3/10 down on his PB. So this is just about Killer improving his time.
And we know Killer, he wants to improve even though he's pole position right now. But let's keep an eye on people that are crossing the line to see if they improve on their position. D-Mort's in 9th at the moment. Finding good time in that final sector. What's it going to be? P3. He was purple final sector, so very comfortable for him. Tote's not improving. Let's watch Killer then as he goes up to the final corner. Luke retires, so I think this is brownie points for Killer Blue. And it's a 108.3. And Tote's going very slowly, so yeah, that is it for qualifying.
Yeah, with a lap at the end, that's almost Division 1 pace from Killer there. Obviously, quite a weird track in terms of pace, usually this one. But he managed to put it on pole position, and it's not something you see every week, a killer pole in Division 2, so well done to him. And out of the championship contenders, obviously Ken Worthy not here today. Luke in P2, Droom in P4, I think. 4 or 5.
Yep.
So they're close together, but now it's about the question if it's dry or not, and what tires they will go on. But we'll speak about that in a bit. We have Killer on pole position and Luke in P2, Mortz in P3, J. Cole actually in P4, and then Drew in P5, about 2/10 off the pole position time. Rick in P6, Cox in P7, good effort from him. Ben JS in P8, Taupe in P9, and Scream in P10. Any disappointments in the session? Let us just scroll down. Not really. The field quite close together. Top 15 within less than 6/10. Liam, again, quite far down in qualifying, but the race pace he's shown in the last couple of weeks was really impressive, so he's going to make his way through. That's all 18 drivers with decent lap times in qualifying. But now the question is, what tire do you want to start on?
That is, I think, a really hard decision around this track because I was looking at some other divisions. I think there was quite more people having an even split. But if I was racing, I would have started on the mediums because I almost guarantee there's going to be a safety car if I was still racing in Division 4.
Yeah, it's a really tricky one. If there's an early safety car in the first half of the race and you start on mediums, and you can go on hards, you pretty much won. But if you start on hards and pit quite late, you have a really good pace advantage in the end. But you get undercut by a couple of people, you'll be stuck in some traffic. So yeah, it's just pain overall everywhere. So I think the front row might go mediums, try to pull away, and then the guys behind might gamble on the hards. I'd be really surprised to see any soft tires, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see any. I think we'll see some soft sides towards the end. I think out of all the tracks on this game, softs can last quite a bit of time around this track. I think the other track where it can last a bit of time is Japan, but they are both tight and twisty tracks. The only difference being that it's a shorter lap sample and it has a lot of banking. So I think it can take up to around 15 laps until the tyres fall off the edge of a cliff, but if you start on soft, you really gotta lose your optimum pace around 10 laps. But no one's going on the soft, luck. At least we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, and as you said, it's an even split once again. Quite a lot of medium guys, and a bit more hard guys, if I count that correctly. 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10. 8 mediums, 10 hards. And Killer, the guy in pole position on a set of hards, does that put his start a bit in danger off the line, because you don't want to go side by side into turn 1 here really, because it's quite tricky on the inside and there's a couple of marbles on the outside. And then an armada of medium runs behind him, and crucially Joom and Luke both on the same tyres, so no big differences there in terms of the championship battle today.
Yeah, I think the only reason why I think Killer has probably made the wrong decision going on the hard, it is a higher downforce track, and if you start on a harder tyre, you're going to get swamped into turn 1. I've learnt the hard way when I was racing in Qatar. I was starting on the front row, I was on mediums, everyone else around me was on soft, and I think about 2 or 3 cars passed me into turn 1, so yeah, I think it's Luke's turn 1 to lose pretty much, and same with D Mortz as well, but if Killer can get a good start, then he's going to be really fast in the end. But if he was starting like obviously lower down, then yes, the starting on the hards will be the right decision. But he's on pole. Everyone else is going to get a slipstream from you. You gotta struggle, I think.
Yeah, and look at Luke, he's doing his usual ritual again of being the fastest on the formation laps. He hit the wall on the inside a bit, he's creeping up to the line, I've never seen that before. And he's gone too far as well. he's gone with 3 to 4 kph, trying to position his car perfectly, and has still bottled it. I think Ben JS also got a disqualification there, so let's see if we get a good camera angle. Of course we don't. So that's gonna give Killer a couple of meters extra. Let's see on board with P4. Slides out and away we go. Good starts overall, but Killer gets away quite well. Manages to hold off everyone behind him. We got D. Morts and J. Cole side by side in the first sector as well. But J. Cole pulls out as Coxie and Rick, the teammates, are going side by side. Ooh, that's some hairy stuff. Two Alpha Tauris leave each other space. Beautifully done. Coxie keeps the position. And then we have Taupe and Ben JS. Is Ben JS gonna fight it too hard? Not really. Let's the medium runner go. Darius sends it on the inside of Petuka. Petuka holds it on the outside. Ooh, you don't want to go side by side here. Good stuff though, good overtake. And I have to say, that's quite a clean start.
I'm a bit surprised. Well done. I'm just picking off people from the start that had good getaways. I'm talking about Scream, who's gained 2 places. He made some brilliant moves near the Williams and the Ferraris. And he's going to get another one past for Kerrigan towards turn 12. And he's up into 7th now. And I think he's going to get Coxie soon. Coxie, another one that's gained quite a bit. So is Darry. Larkin up 2. Brent up 2. Biggest losers, really. Dan is dropped down 2 places. He's down to 16th. And same with... we got change for the lead. As Luke down the inside. It's turn 1.
Yeah, makes the most out of the mediums. Wants to get past as quickly as possible. But Killer wasn't fighting it. He still wants a full battery.
Yeah, I think he knows that the mediums will give up the ghost at some point during the race. But as long as he stays quite close, is all we got. I think D. Morton.
Oh yeah,
Killer
on the
fighting
outside.
on the inside. Outside, sorry.
Ooh.
Inside, outside. Everywhere you look through turn 8 and into turn 9. I wonder if J. Cole can use a little bit of this as slipstream, and I think he could take advantage of any trouble in shoes. As D. Morton at the moment is ahead of J. Cole, but J. Cole almost got him there on the exit of 10.
Yeah, and I see a lot of battery being wasted, which is quite a pain here, because he barely ate anything back. Killer put Mort's a bit on the gravel there, in the fast right-hander, so that put him quite a bit off, but Enos gets past Brent as well into the last sector, quite a rare place to make overtakes. But you see people spamming the batteries, you see people saving it, and that's gonna provide some kind of strategy already quite early on.
I did a race here on Tuesday, and I realised I think there was a few laps where I used too much, and you're trying to find time to defend, and you just couldn't, and someone just passed you into turn 1 quite comfortably as well. But I gave them a hard time, to be honest. It was quite fun. But just an interesting fact, by the way, when you go into the pit lane, you only gain about 9% in the pit stop in ERS, so you've got to be careful not to use the ERS too much in the race, because you're not going to be gaining a lot per lap really when you charge. I think it's about 1% gain per lap, which is not a lot at all. But Luke at the moment has the advantage over Killer in P1, but Killer's going to have the DRS heading towards the start finish straight, and Brent gets past Ennis. No, oh, Brent to the left. Oh, that's a bit of love tap from the both of them.
That was quite aggressive. I think they've changed positions 3 times now there on 3 laps. It's a quite interesting bit, but Dan now gets a run on them. Are we gonna go 3 wide? They all have the DRS, and Brent is already flashing. Oh, he's in for a very long race, Brent. Stick us side by side again. Oh, quite the twitch on exit. They like to hit each other a little bit, but a little bit of wheel banging. No damage done yet. With emphasis on yet. And Enos is going to run again. He's pushing their battery. Oh, around the outside, down the inside now. Oh, that's not going to end well. Goodness me. I know
kept it on the road.
Whoa, yeah, they kept it on the road, but they're both flashing now. I don't know if that was worth it. Let's see. Dan is now quite close behind again. Oh, into the back of Brent as well. As we have a position change. Coxie round.
Coxie had a good qualifying as well, and then he's dropped it to P18, and if he reset the track as well. Naughty. If there's a track where you do not want to spin, it's definitely not. Well, you don't want to spin at Zandvoort, because that is a track where your tyres overheat quickly when you spin. So don't spin if you can, but it is a hot track which is difficult on traction, so understandable there. Luke's still in pretty much the top two are pretty much good on battery at the moment. D-Mort's on about 43%, Jake on 32%. Doom is hardly using any of his battery, so watch out for the browsing also for Ferrari, who has done very well in the past in real life. In 1952, when Alberto Ascari went on to dominate the race, it was a 1-2-3 for Ferrari, and Doom is looking to replicate that. Meanwhile, his teammate there is in P9. He's being chased down by Dari and Patuka, pretty much a whole DRS train apart from Coxey, so we'll see if Coxey can catch up, which I think is going to be easier said than done, unfortunately, but still some tasty battles going on.
Yeah, luckily he doesn't have damage, so just a safety car and he's back in it, at least in terms of the DRS train, and I don't think we've seen this kind of train before for so many laps in Division 2 recently. 17 drivers in one train, no incidents, unless like a couple of little wheel bangings, but that's what you have to expect around here. And we saw June saving his battery the last couple of races as well, so he's quite mindful about that. And if you see Jake was on 20%-ish, about to 30 now. June with a full battery, he has to take one chance and he's passed. And we still don't see any moves. Liam is really hounding Dan in the first sector, but he's just too far away. Has the ERS advantage, but not close enough this time.
I was on board with Jim, and he almost hit the back of Jayco onto the entry of turn 3 there. That could have ended in tears, but luckily it didn't. But there are some people have done that before. Jim is playing it safe for the moment, and I think that's possibly key at this early stage of the race, really, because again, he's leading the championship, but with most of his rivals not here, apart from Luke, he can take it easy until when he puts onto his hard tyres. Look at that, he's using GRS, but he's not using any ERS at all. So I think as soon as he knows that he can get past, that's when he's gonna use it. But I'm surprised he wasn't gonna use it when he heads past the banking really. So here he comes then. Start, finish straight. Is he gonna use his battery?
No, but 3 wide for the lead. Oh, 3 wide for the lead out of nowhere, and Killer's off the track.
Oh, just about gets on his tyres.
Oh my god. Out of nowhere, it was 3 wide, they all squeezed their batteries like there's no tomorrow. They almost went for a last lap kind of showdown.
D-Mort's in the lead!
Is leading. Out of nowhere, but he's got less CRS. Brent and Ines side by side again. And Ines now slowing down. Wow. Letting them past. Yeah, I'm probably not happy with what's happened there. Wow, Killer managing to come back on track quite well, considering he had dirt all over its tyres, so he's playing the early access version. Jesus Christ.
June for a late send to turn 10, and Killer almost lost it on the exit of 10.
Where did that move come from? How?
Well, Jim had more battery to use, whereas Jacob's only got about 10%, so I'm assuming Jim uses battery, unless I was wrong. Yeah, he did use his battery because he was on 70. He was on 99% and now he's moving on to 70, so he definitely used his battery, whereas I don't think J. Cole did. I think Jim is doing very well here. He capitalised on any advantage so far. Top 2 not moving a bit. We got Tote, by the way, right on the back of Recurric. He could go down the inside there, but he's not going to. A bit of a lag spike from Recurric there, and that's not going to help the Williams.
Yeah, but what an up place to take still. And as I was saying, Killer playing the early version of the WRC game on the exit of turn 1. Managed to save it, has more ERS than his teammates, so they should swap around quite quickly again. Other than that, the DRS train is still intact, and Liam is still probably the closest one behind someone. Although he's dropping off quite a bit now. Yeah, Ian is dropping back down to P16. If they keep it like that until the pit stop phase, someone from the back, if he goes early, can undercut the whole train without too many issues. So that's something to keep in mind.
I'll keep an eye on warnings as well, because I have a feeling we can get quite a few warnings coming through. Not as much as, say, Austria or places like Spain, but I think we could get a few down here as well, because it is a similar downforce type of track compared to Spain, apart from the banking. So, heading towards turn 1. I think Luke was the closest through there into turn 1, but again, he didn't go for it there. He's, again, not using much battery anyway. Morse has got hardly any, so I think what Luke is going to do is you get the flashing light anyway when your opponent runs out of battery. So when he sees a flashing light on his opponent, Luke can just send it, I reckon, and go for it. Then he can use his overtake, knows he's got plenty, and he knows Teamortsa can't do it. So I think he's going to do it then. I don't think he's going to risk it when he knows Teamortsa might have plenty at the moment. He's on 27% Teamortsa though, so he's got to defend.
Yeah, and I'm quite surprised. Killer quite close to J. Cole. As we have
Yellow
Enos
flag.
round. Enos round on the inside. Interested how he ended up there. Can he accelerate now with the hot tires? Yes, he manages to do so. But yeah, Killer really hounding J. Cole, but J. Cole is not letting him through easily, so not much team play there. Does Jum press the button this lap? And no, he's not. So there shouldn't be any change for the lead, saying that the closing speed of Luke is insane. But yeah, everything's staying the same so far. Larkin and Petuka side by side. Petuka diving it down the inside. Gets the move half done, but now Larkin with a beautiful switch back through. But both of them flashing and the battery is in the bin.
And Ennis is out the race. He's retired the pit lane, so no safety car. Look at that closing speed again from Killer on those hards. I think he just seems more comfortable than Jaco, and we would expect the hards to be a better time in about 5 laps or so. Not now, so it might be that Jaco probably pushing a bit too much compared to his teammate, or it might just be Killer is just quicker around this track. But we won't know that until 5 laps time, I presume. And we do have a move potentially for P2 on track as June, nope, doesn't go for it. I think if he was to go for a move here, he will try and go around the outside of 12, but he's not going to do so, unfortunately. But again, he's already in the cusp of trying to win this race because he's got his championship rival ahead of him. But I think his championship rival is going to go for the lead. Doesn't use any ERS. And I think June's going to follow the same line.
Oh, is he?
Maybe not. I think D-Mort's going to defend around the outside. Lovely defense from D-Mort's. But Luke is crucially 2 places ahead of June. Not going to make a difference to the championship too much, but that will mean the gap extension won't be that much either. As Killer trying to go for a move on his teammate. There we go. Yeah. He goes for it.
Yeah, and crucially, Luke got past Mort without using any ERS. Then Zoom got a bit disturbed in the dirt here on the inside, and D-Mort's held it quite well around the outside. So, interesting that they go for moves now. Expect them to hold out a bit longer, but I think Zoom pushed Luke into an overtake there. Miami is now dropped off the train at the back as well. So now it's only 14 drivers left in the DRS train as Luke makes quite a mess out of the chicane. And if he maybe doesn't get the best last corner, it's going to be a repeat in turn 1 of what we saw last lap. So let's keep an eye on that. But I think it's just a bit too far away. Zoom is not going for a move. That's Larkin. Oh, Larkin is almost round. And does he have damage? He's into the pits. At least was wall riding a little bit on the exit. Takes it quite carefully. Rick and Scream. Scream has a bit of an incident as well. Dropping a couple of positions. So let's see if Larkin changes the wing. No, he didn't.
I think it's strategy.
Yeah.
I think because his tyres were clipped, he thought, you know what, scrap it. He's going to pay the price towards the end of the race. But for now, he's going to be very quick towards the middle half of this race as he comes out, doesn't cross the pit lane and exit line, which is good. Will we see the likes of the ones near him, the likes of Brent and Scream and maybe Toke come in soon, but they're all on the same train. I wonder if Larkin's maybe going to do that strategy that we talked about, but probably not because he's so far behind compared to everyone. It's around 19.5 seconds that you lose in the pit lane. So what's the gap between Larkin and... oh, it's more than that. So he's going to come out way behind a lot of these guys. So yeah, he needs to get a bit of time in these next few laps.
Mort's going for the lead again, without using any batteries, or they're Swapping places, something to keep an eye on as Scream and
Scream.
Ben JS is round. Oh, another Spinalla, you hate to see it. He's reversing
Oh,
off
don't do
the
it the wrong
track.
way. Doesn't give you a long time to do it on this game.
Oh, and he's...
Oh, he's lost his front wing.
He's gonna feel a little bit embarrassed about that crash. That was a bit unnecessary, but his race probably was in the bin anyways. As Liam and Coxie, side by side,
Wow.
glued together. Liam is going for a huge undercut, by the way. He's going for the two-stop strategy for sure. So, interesting strategy from him. Could work out. He's already undercut Larkin by miles. Was in the pits again. He had wing damage, but they didn't repair it, so he had to go in again. Absolute pain for Larkin. This race is so over unless there's a safety car. But,
I think that's his
it's
only
painful.
shot.
Yeah, it's really painful. Killer's tyres are really coming into play now. He's found some pace, he's putting pressure on. He needs to save some ERS. Shroom used a little bit of ERS, I think he was thinking about the move. Luke is using a little bit as well, but not going for the move for P1. Or is he? No, just lifting off early. Rick down against FJ Cole out of nowhere. The hearts are coming into play now, the mediums are gonna drop. Beautiful racing, leaving enough room to each other. Good stuff from the sister teams. Oh, as J. Cole gives him a little love tap as well. Well, let's move on for Rick. Oh, do we see Ben in the pits now for a new front wing as well? Let's see, is that gonna be a good Ferrari pit stop? Yeah, it's just the nose change is gonna take forever. And the mediums will barely make it to the end for him. It's all bunching up.
It will have to be, I think, around about lap 20, 21, I think, before the mediums, I think, become viable. So I think we'll see Killer and McCurrick come in then. But I think we will expect the likes of D-Morts, Luke and June to come in, I think, either the end of this lap or the end of the next lap. I think if I was June, I was coming at the end of this lap because he's right in the middle of some traffic. And he's going to come out, I think he's only going to come into the Lehman Coxie battle. Hopefully he's going to prove my theory right. No, there's another car that's gone in, so I predicted someone's going to come in, but the wrong car.
Close enough. So yeah, people staying up, people pitting. The hearts are quite decent to the end from here on in. Mediums, you need to go about lap 19 at least to have them quite nice in the end still. Reserved, and Liam is flying. Is he past Luke as well? Not quite. So from the back of the grid, he's now literally at the front of the grid. Net front of the grid, but he has to stop again. So I don't think that strategy is necessarily working out for him unless there's a safety car. Once again, a couple of people relying on it. Brent quite close to Petuka who's derating. Other than that, we have a yellow flag in sector 1. It's Coxie again. Oh, out of turn 3. And wing damage.
Yeah, B has to come in, so his race is pretty much screwed. So, as it stands, yes, Luke is the net race leader because, like I was saying, you lose about 19.5 seconds in the pit lane. He's less than that, and he's gaining quite a bit on this lap. So, he's as it stands, he's going to come out, unless he has a poor flying lap this lap, then yeah, he's going to come out in the race lead. As we've got a lot of 5-second penalties, Scream is being one of them. D-Morts comes in, Human Killer stay out. Let's watch D-Morts coming out the pit lane. Luke's coming towards the final corner. And it's going to be actually closer than I thought between D-Morts and Luke as they head towards T1.
Yeah, the hearts obviously take a while to heat up, but it was still enough to get past.
It was.
But he's still in the DRS framework, which is a crucial bit, so not too bad, no damage done really. If he stays with them. Obviously the warm-up is really bad on the front tires especially. So the undercut isn't as big over one lap, but Droom is going to get undercut quite heavily. Let's see, I think he's going to pit this lap as well on a set of hearts. I should expect to see that as Larkin is pumping in the fastest laps out of frustration, absolutely sending it right now. With his double stop.
Well, be careful not to get lapped.
Ooh. Yeah, and he needs to pit again as well.
Jim stays out.
Wow.
We've hit the crossover point as well, I think, as J. Cole comes in, as expected. And look at how Killer is managing his tyres a lot better than Doom at the moment. I think Doom is heading towards the cliff territory soon in a few laps' time. But for Killer, his tyres could last a little bit longer. He is using his battery as well. I wouldn't use his battery around here because that's where we've seen people spin. Miami's hit the fastest lap of the race so far, but he's in the back as well.
And D Mort's not inside the DRS zone and out of ERS of Luke and Liam, so he needs a stonker overlap of lap 17 to get back in there.
Type and Scream have had a big undercut on J. Cole.
Yeah. Massive. But they obviously got the 5-second penalty, so they probably entered the pit lane with a gazillion miles an hour. So
yeah,
that probably helped them a bit.
That did help them a little bit, but if I were them and if there was a safety car, I would come in and serve that. That's what I did in my race on Tuesday.
Yeah, they're going to be hoping for something like that, definitely, as Killer is in. And Joom is still out. Joom really extends his medium stint. I hope he's not going to go for the softs. As Dan also speeding. It's such a tricky pit entry. As Killer now on a fresh set of mediums, they're also going to be struggling in the end. How much is he doing on the cut? They can do it percentage-wise, but do you want a set of mediums or a set of hards in the end? That's going to be the question. Is he going to get undercut even by Scream? Yes, he is. What about Taupe? Is he going to send it as well? Oh, really close stuff. That's absolutely not what Killer wanted. Taupe tries to go under. Oh.
Under and over, it looks like from Taupe.
That was a bit close.
The benefit from Killer is he doesn't have that 5-second penalty. Scream and Taupe do. So Killer's in the net P2 still.
Yes, that's going to help him as well down the straight with the DRS, so he might yo-yo himself back down to the gap ahead, which is Liam struggling and now falling outside the DRS of Luke, and Mort is back in. So Killer probably net P3 right now, but with the tyres it should make it net P1 quite quickly. Droom is still staying out. What is he going for? Is he actually going for softs? Surely not.
I think he has to at this point, because there's no way he would stay out this long for set of the hard. It's just like you may as well put on a set of memes at this point if you're allowed, but you're not allowed. So yeah.
Killer around the outside of Scream as Mort's go. Oh, Killer round! Killer round the damage! Oh, shocking! Side by side.
Oh my goodness! Thank goodness ghosting's on, otherwise Dan would have been a victim of terror.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Mort's getting past Liam, crucially as well. But that's absolutely ruined Killer's race. Getting tapped by Scream looked like a racing incident, but obviously got to be reviewed after the race. But what a shame for Killer. He was bringing the spice to the race. Pole position, quickest guy on track. But that's his race absolutely done.
I think he would have won the race, but I think there are some difficult corners on the track, and getting the exit right through turn 1 and 2 is definitely one of them. As Doom comes in, and it's got to be, you're leaving it a bit late, Sunshine, but he's going to go in anyway. Set of hards.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Fresh set of hards, he's going to have the best tyres in the end, but he's going to be undercut by absolute miles. He also nearly took the pit wall with him into the pit lane. That was rather close. Look at all the cars flying past. We see Jacob bumping and the Scream around the corner. They still go side by side. Rick is hounding Taupe as well. But Joom is not getting Miami even. Miami was last.
Oh, wow. Killer's out the race.
Yep.
And he's in the pit lane.
Doesn't want to gamble on a safety car. He has enough for today.
Saying that, there'll probably be a safety car next lap.
We now need to see the Joom overtaking Masterclass, because he's net P10. Well, if you take the penalties, he's net P8. But yeah.
Yeah, because Darry's the only driver yet to box.
Unreal. Well, Liam has to pit again, and the two penalty boys obviously as well, but that makes net P7. Ooh, as Liam forgets about the chicane. Saves it quite well, but he has to pit quite soon for a new set of mediums, probably in 4 or 5 laps time. He could really do with a virtual safety car. But Joom, full battery, almost. But a DRS train ahead of him. He's gonna try some really good moves and overtaking. Speaking of that, Rick absolutely flies past Hope. Without battery though, so he's gonna struggle on his fresh mediums. Is he able to catch up to Luke? Maybe. So he could be in for a really good shot for the victory as well. Let's see Joom, still stuck in P11. He needs to make the moves now.
Yeah, I'm still a bit perplexed as to why he stayed out longer than he did, to be honest, because he's stuck behind traffic. You can see that he's fastest out of anybody, but he's going to be probably hindered pace-wise by guys who have been on those mediums and hards for quite a bit, as Miami could start to struggle, I think, in a few laps' time as he heads towards turn 10 now. Is Dowie coming into the box? No, but he's staying out.
Oh, Joom down the inside of Miami. Oh, that's risky, that's risky. Oh,
you almost get pushed off
some
the
more wheel
circuit
banging.
then.
Oh, makes the move stick. But that's risky, that's way too risky in this position. I get that he wants the best tyres in the end, but he probably didn't expect to be undercut by 10 people. So, makes one move as Liam gets overtaken. Rick is flying. He's flying as the best tyres out of everyone right now, so he's gonna close up to Morton and Luke quite soon. Darry's still hoping for a Burn Mylander to make an appearance. Not happening right now. Troon probably also gambled a bit on a safety car, but that definitely didn't pay off for him.
I think I'm one of those drivers that usually gambles for a safety car and it never happens and it messes up my strategy. So I think that's what Darry's doing at the moment, but I'm surprised there hasn't been one. We've had safety cars in Division 1, Division 3, not sure about Division 4, but I know we've had one in Division 1 and Division 3, so I was flipping between the two.
Yeah, I'm watching Division 4, there was a virtual safety car as well there.
Alright, so it was a VSC, no safety car, okay.
Yes.
Well done, guys.
Is Darry pitting now? Yes, he is. He's finally caved. Altai probably going to go much longer than 22. At least for me, it was that lap where they're about to pop. So into the pits, he's going to be flying the last couple of laps. As Tope gets past Liam. Ooh.
Risky. I wouldn't go on a soft.
No.
I wouldn't go on a soft.
Oh.
I think I would only go on a soft like lap 25, 26 territory, not now.
Yeah, mediums will be quicker to the end. June tried to get past Brent, but Brent said no, thank you very much. Stayed ahead, used all his battery to do so. Must be really frustrating for June because he can see them get away in front. But he has to pace over them all. As it's all bunching up. Oh, he gets a big snap on the braking as well. Move those brake bias forwards, my man. And now all aboard the Liam train. Quite close. You have to be careful not to knock the front wing. Is he going to send it again into the chicane? He is. But that's risky. Makes the move stick. Brent jumps out of the way. Good racing there, I would say. But Droom is taking risks that he doesn't need to. He's flying onto the back of J. Cole. If he uses his battery, he's going to get past. But he is not. So he's going to save in for another lap. Mortz, though, is really close. And Rick is just reeling them in lap by lap as well.
Foxy's out of the race. I'm trying to think if that was on track or in the pit lane. But I do have word from Killer as to why he retired. He had no fresh tyres left.
Oh, fair enough.
Which is understandable. And he was complaining about one driver, but I'm not going to say who.
Yeah.
As Doom on the right-hand side. He's doing the side by side on J. Cole into 7. Through 8 now to the right-hand side he goes, becomes the inside. I want if J Cole's definitely not going to challenge him there, but J Cole's going to have plenty of slipstream from Doom. Lovely move there from Doom.
It is, but that costs him 20% of his battery.
It does.
So I can't afford many moves like that. He can do it 2 more times and then he's out of battery as well. But he's pushing Stream around the circuit. Liam's still hanging on to that set of mediums that are about 7 laps older than everyone else. So Droom on the back of Scream, almost too close. Oh goodness me, almost bump drafting. Mortz gets the lead, Liam into the pits. Droom wants to go for the move. Scream is defending it quite a bit. Oh, Liam gets penalty for speeding down the inside and retires. Oh, Scream holding it around the outside. Oh, that's going to be a tight squeeze for this corner. Shroom sends it. Very well done. And Shroom is up into P5. And can he make the strategy work? It's looking better each lap. But he relies on Rick to have a bit of a drop-off in the end.
Yeah, so that's Liam out as well. So I think he's probably run out of tyres, to be honest. I have to say, D-More's doing a good job on those hards, but I think Luke's just being a bit patient towards the end, I think, as well. Watch out for Rick for any time. So he's got to make the move next lap or the lap after that, because otherwise his tyres will give up the ghost.
Yeah, Dan with a good move from Brent as well. J. Cole and Scream go side by side into that weird little chicane as well. They've dropped off the DRS train completely now, so Scream is going to have an easy overtake on him. Droom on the back of Taupe. Is he going to go for it this lap? He is. He's squeezing that battery like his life depends on it. There's no defending from Taupe without the battery. It's impossible. What about Scream down the inside? Oh, he's not offered much room. J. Cole tries to hang around the outside. Tries to go for a switchback. Scream says no thank you. And absolutely parks it on the apex. I guess he moved on quite nicely with all the ties as well. And now Droom 2 seconds behind the leaders. With the best tyres, quite a lot fresher tyres. He should have a good shot at it in the end.
We thought that he was on the wrong strategy, but G was probably like, just you wait, watch and see what I can do.
Yeah, he might have played that to perfection, to be honest. Relying a bit on luck and getting the moves done, but he's getting the moves done right now. And he's gaining, look at that, half a second in the middle sector alone. Mort's not setting the most blistering pace in the front. And they're going to be joined by Droom in half a lap time. I think that's case close, but let's see. Luke and Rick probably seeing Droom flying towards them on their deltas. Might think about a move on Mort, but they're not doing anything yet. Trying to preserve some battery for the end. As Shakel re-overtakes Scream, they're having a good old ding dong. Dan going for both of them down the inside.
Wow.
Shakel with a good line around the outside, hangs on to it, gets the run out of the corner. Let's go on what Scream here. Oh, into the back of Shakel. There goes a front wing aim plate flying, and there goes Shakel around. Absolute shambles.
His front wing gone, and he's
stuck.
Gonna be beached. And he's beached.
Oh
yeah.
No, that's shambles.
But I think you are allowed to reset to track if you are beached, though.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a rule for that, but
I don't know. As Ben is now out of the race, he's in the pit lane. As Brent gets past Scream on the inside and towards turn 7, we got Miami in there as well. Miami started last, by the way. Oh, a bit of a squiggle from Miami, and he just keeps the car in good nick.
Oh, Patuka down the inside, absolutely sent it on Scream. Scream holds on to it. We've got yellows out. And Scream's getting mocked by everyone. He must feel like he's in London. Absolute shambles for him. Darry now on his fresh softs is in the battle for P7, that is. But Miami with the DRS. Not gonna go for a move on Brent this lap.
Nope.
No moves from behind. They're Scream into the pits, probably to retire as well. And then we're only 12 left, which is the amount of point scorers. It looks like Scream might just gamble a set of softs, get the fastest lap, and probably still be ahead of Larkin. So that's up for him. And Shakel also into the pits. But look at that, Droom is now closed up. He's with the lead battle. With the most DRS, Luke also doing quite well on battery. But it's getting closer and closer. 8 laps to go after this one. Who's your money on?
I'm gonna say Droom. He pitted later than everybody else. He's got the fresher grip, and when he goes for moves, he absolutely sends it. So no pressure on the Ferrari driver, but if he wants to replicate what Alberto Ascari did in the 50s, where he secured a win for Ferrari around this track, then he's got to prove that. But he's not going to go for the move yet. I don't think any of the top 4 are going to do so currently. Patuka, by the way, is absolutely flying on those mediums. We got Miami to the left-hand side towards T1. This could be 3 wide. No, it's not going to be 3 wide as they head towards turn 2. Surely Batuka has to back off. I think Batuka could go around the outside through there. As Brent takes the high road. Miami takes the low road, looks like, as Brent is staying in P7. This is great stuff, by the way, with this mid-pack.
Oh, Luke is ghosting. Luke was ghosting. Or
Is he
lagging.
an AI?
Is he?
No, he's not. He was
Migrating host. Oh no. Oh, Killer has left the session, shambles. Look back into P2, it was all just a bit of a lag. Oh, Killer, why would you do that? You know that's breaking the game. Dari around the outside of Petuka, that is.
But I think we've done, enough of the race to get class as 4 points if we red flag it.
Yes.
I think.
Not sure about
I might
ruling.
be wrong.
You never know with LOE ruling, but at least we're still going and it's all working. And Luke hasn't lost anything. Yep. And Shroom is now experiencing the DRS train syndrome. And he's struggling to make the moves now. And his tie is probably in a bit of midlife crisis.
Ooh,
Also in the
Miami.
midfield, Dari and Miami going side by side. Dari is actually making the softs work. But are they going to drop off in the next 7 laps? I think they are. Oh, Azio is sliding. Oh, gets a little bit bumped by Miami, who's now getting the exit. Dari, I think, has cooked his rear tyres. Having a nice barbecue there. But
yeah.
he holds on for now, but he's going to be in trouble.
What's he going to put on his tyres? What food? Only joking.
That's a good question. Probably a lot of food after a couple of more laps. Let's see Joom now. 1/10 behind, 2/10 now. Rick's tyres are hanging on and should be fine to the end. And Joom's tyres now just above 25%, are probably struggling a bit. There's more battles. Petuka now again down the inside there. He's liking that overtaking opportunity. Is anyone going for anything in the front? No, not yet. Luke just keeping the gap up, so he doesn't need to overtake Mortz. Because he probably doesn't want to do that yet.
He's making Demort use his battery with Luke thinks that Luke is getting closer, but he's not. So I think Luke is pressuring Demort to use his battery, and then once he gets towards the end, Demort will hardly have any. Luke will have a load. He can use his overtake boom, and he can get past him. Which I think is very smart.
Yeah, he is playing that game, and it's working well for him right now. But if Joom gets past Rick, he's definitely in trouble and under a bit more pressure. Let's see, we have some moves down the field. Scream getting past Larkin, both of them having shocking races. Wow, that's close as well. Larkin getting a good old Formula Drift going there. Dari caught his rear tyres again. He's now in the back of Brent. But look how close Luke is. He almost has to go for a move now if Rick decides to push him a bit. Gets a gap again above 5/10, so it might be fine for this lap. Joom not close enough. Rick makes a mistake in the last corner. Joom can't capitalize. He's probably a bit surprised as well, and it's status quo and nothing is happening in the front. I think Dari might have a little move on Brent at the end of the straight, as Brent is low on fuel. Down the inside, easy move. Nothing Brent can do. He probably needs to lift a bit. Let's go through the fuel levels. Quite a tricky track in terms of that. It's just Brent that's struggling on fuel, so don't see a repeat of China with Joom running out of fuel. But he's running out of time, you could say. 5 laps to go. It's getting tough.
It's getting tough towards the end there, and we're thinking that Dari may not get those tyres to the end. Will Joom be able to hang in there and get past the guys to get the win? Will Rick's tyres get to the end, or will they give up the ghost? And don't forget the Haas at the end. The top two will probably fall the edge of the cliff soon as well. So I think they just got to manage their tyres effectively in these final few laps. I don't think we're going to get any of the safety cars here, so if you've been on those tyres for quite a bit, especially if you're on those mediums, you've got to hope that something bad happens behind you or ahead of you for you to get the position you need. Here comes Joom, by the way. Doesn't use any RS Force turn number 1. He's going to get 2 in one corner. He almost did. Recurring to the right. Oh, they made contact a little bit. Now Joom decides to use his overtake.
Down the inside.
3 to the inside. Oh!
Hangs on to it. Hangs on to it. Doesn't have damage, I think. But that's his race down the drain for now. But let's not count him out quite yet. They were lucky to survive the exit of turn 1, I've got to say. I was seeing them both in the wall. Luke is now being gifted the opportunity for this win. But Joom can recover probably. Does he have damage? Doesn't look like it,
Doesn't
but
look like
you never
it.
know. He's still dropping off from Rick, so probably the tire is a bit screwed as well. Taupe now, with this 5-second penalty right behind him. Can Joom crawl back into the DRS window, but I think it's too late. He's not got a battery now. And he got screwed by the DRS train.
Yep, and he's going to have no safety cars to bring him back into this one, and there goes my pick of the win gone. So, commentator's curse for Jim. I think he's going to blame me after the end of this race for him losing out on the win. But 3 more laps to go until the end of this one, and Luke is very close to Demort on this lap, so I think he was saving a bit there. He's saving a bit of battery. Demort's 20%, Luke 64, Rick 13. I have to say,
Brent.
Rick's still doing good job. Brent is on the back of Darry. I think if I was him, I would try and get past, because I know Brent is going to... No, not Brent. Darry's going to derate soon. And I know Brent's going to be saving fuel at this point now, as you were saying. Anyone else low on fuel? No, everyone else is fine, it looks like.
Yep. Yeah, but Brent is now in a conundrum. He's got Patuka behind pushing hard. He needs to save fuel. He's quicker than Darry. So his brain is working overtime tonight. About the leaders, Stroom drops it on the apex and gets overtaken by Taupe. Wow. Yeah, obviously with a penalty he's gonna drop back, but Joom definitely having an issue. Either completely out of the rhythm or he has damage. You just not see it. Rick recovered quite well. He's at the back again, but he's not got the battery. And I think Luke is going for it now. Yes, he is. Let's see if the Immorts has anything in for it for the next couple of laps. Still 2 to go. Is it too early?
Yeah, 2 laps to go. Luke in the lead so far, but I think it could be too early because Demort's going to have the DRS heading towards the final lap. So he's got to time it right as we got a spinner.
Around. Yeah, Patuka in turn 1.
He's still going to get points though because the gap behind is quite big, so as long as he can keep his car on the road, he can score 3 points in this race. Who's got fastest lap so far? That belongs to Scream in P11.
Yes, and Mort doesn't seem to have the pace to follow Luke. It just takes a little mistake from Luke as Miami and Brent. Oh, Brent is going to Belgium. Unreal. Where did he go to? Channeling is in the Latifi there. Shame about that.
Is he getting some early advantage for the next track?
Yeah, I think he's trying to save money on travel costs. Anyways, battle for the lead. Both spamming the batteries. Luke has the advantage on it. Mort, as much as he wants to, he's not close enough for a move. And Luke just uses the battery wisely. That was the perfect place to go. Ooh, Mort touches the gravel. So easy to do on entry, but Rick is just too far away as well. Joom can't get past Taupe, and I don't think Taupe can get a penalty removed, so should be P4 for Joom, but Luke on his way to claw back into that championship lead from Joom.
Yeah, and I think that's not what Joom wants at this stage because he knows his main rival's out of it, but Luke's hanging in there and he looks like he's going to get a win, so Joom I think is going to get P4 on the road. I don't know why Brent's pitting, by the way. He could have
got a point.
He could have got a point if he kept going, but he had no front wing as Demort, I think he's a bit too further back, and he's got less ERS as well. I think Luke was draining all the battery that he's had on that final lap to make sure Demort stays behind, but Luke and Demort's heading towards the final few corners now.
Yeah, Rick almost getting a run there. Is anyone going to run out of fuel to the line? Probably not. Luke weaving, what a race by him, into P1. Mort with a really good race, P2. Rick P3. Taupe with a penalty drops down to P5. Joom only 4th here, you must say. That's Darry and... Oh yeah, Darry also getting past Dan. Miami P8, what a recovery from him. He started last, as you said before. Very good race and strategy. 22 laps on the mediums. Absolutely mad. And Stream, Larkin and J. Cole miles behind. P10, P11, P12, they're all gonna score points. Happy days, but they probably won't be happy about the races. As J. Cole getting a run on Larkin down to the line. Oh, that's gonna be close. I think he got him.
I think he got him. Yeah.
Wow.
11th. What was the gap? I think I would like to see.
Yeah, I want to see that.
We will see after the pay. Miami got the in-game drive of the day, but I have to say, well deserved from him because he started from the back and he now finished into decent points.
Yes, and we're now looking at the stand, and oh, Jekyll Larkin to the millisecond the same. What? Oh dear, look at that.
Oh my god! So I've never seen that before.
No.
I'm screenshotting that.
Yeah,
Give
I
me a
didn't think the
second.
game could even compute that. I want to see that in the theater mode from Jekyll Larkin's point of view, who was actually ahead. That was brilliant to the line, but J. Cole, by the 10,000th of a second, apparently got ahead of Larkin, so that's going to sting a little bit. Scream gets the fastest lap, but it's Luke winning the race from P2 on the grid, Mort's P3 to P2, Rick P6 to P3 with the alternate strategy. And Droom tried as much as he might, he was stuck in a DRS train, which is his ultimate downfall. Tope recovering quite well, P5 with a penalty. Dari P6, the German Armada in P5 and 6th, then Dan in 7th, Miami in 8th, Petuka 9th, Scream in 10th, J. Cole and Larkin on a joint 11th, you could say. What a race. Who's your driver of the day, you would say?
Oh, I think Miami one of them, but Luke for holding on for dear life on Demort's incredible. But Demort's had a very good race as well, so shame about Jim there having some spins. And Killer, I think, could have won if he didn't have his moments. But sometimes you just got to make less mistakes, and Lambert is a track where it can be very unforgiving at times. No safety cars though. Very well done.
Yeah, unexpected from Division 2. I think I'm also going to go for Luke. Very well managed race, absolutely perfected it. And unless you have anything else to add for tonight's race, I
Nope.
might as well end the stream. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and watching it back as well. And I'll see you next week, probably with Jess again or someone else, because Mark is absolutely not caring anymore. So yeah, have a nice evening. Follow us on Twitter and YouTube and whatever. And see you next week.